Greetings all. Well, anybody who's been following the channel around for a while now, y'all know how much I don't like the Coqui frog. Yes, those Coqui frogs, they get up on my lanai in the evening when I'm trying to sit around and relax, and they're Coqui, 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 Coqui. Yeah, over and over. And it's too loud. Hurts my ears. They claim it's 90 decibels. Well, when it's underneath the roof. So, the last Coqui frog video, I was talking about using AC/DC's Thunderstruck rock and roll. Well, I've continued experimenting. I was serious. Okay, I'm very serious about this idea. Whether you believe in the idea or not, check it out. Last night after dinner, I went out and sat in my favorite chair on the porch and hanging out, and it was still light. Dusk would be coming soon, but it was still full light out. And well, I started to hear a few early frogs. Oh man, here we go again. I'm going to get them this time. So, I went back in the house, and I got myself a portable radio, basic little AM/FM portable Panasonic. And, well, I dialed the thing into a local classic rock station and set it up on the railing around the porch, facing towards the shrubbery where the frogs were at. I turned it up pretty loud. I'd say just loud enough that I could still kind of hear the frogs back there, but they weren't evident, and it didn't make my ears bleed. So, it was tolerable loud volume. I guess that's the best way to put it. Well, unfortunately, about as soon as I got everything set up, what happens? The local news comes on the radio. Well, the frogs don't care about the local news, all right? They just kept right on. Coqui, Coqui. Well, next, it came back, but they did rock around the Christmas tree for Christmas. It really didn't seem to work all that well as far as the frogs. But after that, they did a back-to-back doubleheader from Aerosmith. Whew, man, did that work. That was frog poison. I mean, Aerosmith had them frogs so mesmerized that they literally dropped right out of the shrubs, probably, and lay on the ground with their frog feet in the air. It was astounding. Yeah, really. Anybody got Coqui frogs? You don't like that noise? You want to try this one? Believe me, it works. Now and better yet, Ellen and I went back out onto the porch much later in the evening, and still no frogs. I got up 5 o'clock this morning. Still no frogs in the general area where the sound had broadcast. There were frogs in the distance and in other locations. I still had frogs in the backyard. Okay, so, but in the area where I projected Aerosmith, there were no frogs. That effect lasted. Now I have some conclusions here. All right, one is that I think in any critter's life cycle, there's always this critical juncture where it's a breeding cycle, or whatever it is. It's where they're hatching or things like this. And in most cases, it's like, well, if you're a bear and you're looking for salmon, hey, you wait till they come upstream to spawn. They're real susceptible when they're on the ocean. Forget it. Yeah, life's like that. And I discovered that with whiteflies in California. If I hit the very first hatch in spring with both traps and an oil spray, bam, I'd knock them out for the whole year. it was, that effective because they were so susceptible right then. Well, I have this idea about the Coqui frog, and that's that, it's not just there to annoy me. Its whole purpose in making noise is to mate. It's calling for a mate. Well, at the point in time, I guess it's, pretty much controlled by light with the frog, that the frog starts the cycle of this croaking. I think that the frog's pattern is susceptible at that point, okay? Once they get roaring, I don't know, if you probably drive a semi through the neighborhood and they don't care much, but if you can catch them when they first get started for the evening, I think what happens is they find that the area is not suitable and they move on. If they weren't there, I'll tell you. Other thoughts. The Coqui call is rhythmic. Coqui, Coqui, Coqui. It's like that. That's one of the reasons I hate it. It's monotonous, repetitious. The moho gecko we have here, it calls pretty loud too and sharp, but it chirps a little bit, stops, chirps a little later. The Coqui just non-stop. It's like a broken record. And so this is rhythm to this frog. Well, when you take a heavy rock and roll beat that is not within the rhythm of the frog, I do believe it disrupts the frog's rhythmic pattern. And if it's loud enough, the frog just can't quite get its step. Yeah, that's what I think. Anyway, and I also believe that the really high-pitched sonics, like high human voice, high screaming guitar lines, and things like this, the frog's call is extremely high-pitched. I mean, it'll make your ears bleed if you're too close. And those kind of sonic frequencies, when they're in harmonic dissonance with the frequency of the frog, I think it does some noise cancellation. Anyhow, these are my thoughts on the subject. I have no idea what's real here, but I do know one thing for sure. The frogs all shut up. I turned off the radio, and I'm sitting there in silence. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Thank you, Aerosmith. AC/DC and Aerosmith so far is all I've tried. They hate it. It's frog poison. Aloha.